you gon' lose too. Dripping in ice, you looking at you. It's squad goals when are you pretty like no.
I never anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat, no pneumonia, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. Here's Robinson. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they will be led out by a young man making his first NFL start.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave what game plan? I think it's pretty obvious that
trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, partner, that was not a good omen right there. The very first play from scrimmage, you just want to give yourself a nice, simple throw and hopefully get yourself into a rhythm. That is the last thing you're expecting. And now you put your defense in a tough spot right from the word go.
And now out comes Minnesota. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Following the interception, Cousins. And he's got the hookup here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still second down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. Cook following the penalty. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Don't forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. If you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They have more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Jackson now to return. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They run it with McKinnon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. In on the stop there, Andrew Sendejo. And a quick look now at the offense for the 49ers.
Your NFL comeback player of the year in 2017 was Keenan Allen, who set a Chargers record for most receptions in a season with 102. And he passed Hall of Famer LaDainian Tomlinson in doing so. Played only 9 games in the previous 2 years. He plays with a ferocity that few see on the field, attacks routes downfield, and makes big plays.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Linval Joseph. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around. But you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 34. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Open here, Adam Thielen. Look at this, middle of the field, breakaway. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, 57 yards. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, That should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy two-play drive that time. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The 49ers heading out, and if you listen real closely, you can hear it, the buzz right now that is around this 49er team. And look, they finished last year strong. Big reason why Jimmy nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Emerson Griffin in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Back to throw. Johnson. And Allen's got it. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Looking to throw. Johnson. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
On the quick handoff, it's Juszczyk. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Linval Joseph. With a great push up front, he picks up the sack and a loss of 8. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Back to throw. Johnson. The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. Emerson Griffin in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Bradley Pinion now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings heading out, and we'll have to see what the Falcons do this year, but we do know that the Vikings will not be the first team to play the Super Bowl in their home stadium, because they had that shot last year, Charles. Came up short in the NFC title game, but this is a club that has retooled to make another run.
Still built defense first. The image of their head coach, Mike Zimmer. And they have all-stars at every level. Start with Linval Joseph at defensive tackle. Move back to Anthony Barr at linebacker. Xavier Rhodes at cornerback. Harrison Smith at safety. They can do it all on defense. But the signing of Kirk Cousins on offense at quarterback signals that this is a Vikings team that wants to open things up a little bit, get a little bit more explosive, and not have to play quite as many grinded-out games as they did in 2017.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Cook. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I remember first I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. The return of Cook, a big boost to this Viking offense. Here's 1st and 10. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. 10-zip our score. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, and they've got it here with a 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st down, Murray. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he's able to hold on to the football.
Play action now. Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Solomon Thomas in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. This man's been a fan favorite in the Bay Area for a while. First with Stanford, now with San Fran.
The number 3 pick out of Stanford last season. His versatility is the key to his success. Whether he's playing defensive tackle, defensive end, line him up over the nose in passing situations, he usually uses his quickness to get to the quarterback.
Here's Cousins. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they're getting blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. You can count his carries on 1 finger. They've only given him the rock 1 time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know what else gets into a rhythm?
It's caught inside the 25. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there for the Niners. 43 yards.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
Here's McKinnon. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Emerson Griffin getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
We got three, fellas. We got three.
Looking to throw. Johnson looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, you know, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
All right, now here we go, oh. Hey, go down, go down. Yes, Eddie! Wait, hot.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
I know it's the first half, but it's still hard to curb the enthusiasm for that stop. 3rd and 1, and the offense can't get there. The defensive team has got to feel very good about themselves. Great job out-leveraging the offense.
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And boy, Charles, they have to find a way to just give him some time to breathe back there. He's been pressured throughout this game.
And I'll bet in his mind he's thinking the focus shouldn't be on how many times I've gone down. It's where is it happening? Where are the breakdowns up front? They'll never say it publicly because good leaders don't do that. But they've got to figure out what's happening in the offensive line to keep people away from him so he actually has a chance to throw the football, because so far that has not been the case.
5 full sacks against him. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Johnson to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace, Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. McKinnon, not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back to throw. Johnson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Now McKinnon. And nowhere really to go there. We'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown 1 interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Johnson. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right?
Hey, Jahan!
A first down throw for Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
That was 2nd down run for Murray. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it and pick up first downs. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, the offer can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in Week 1. So do not press that skip button. The Vikings on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Now Johnson looking to throw on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Back to throw. Johnson able to haul it in is Kittle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very solid gain of 27. On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Johnson now to throw on 2nd down. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. They go play action here on 1st down, and this is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Johnson to throw again. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 16 yards to the 16 and a 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Here's Johnson. Back to the air on 2nd down. A dump down to McKinnon. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Looking to throw. Johnson. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And Gold is able to put it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the 2nd half.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll begin with an AFC clash up in the Northeast. Baltimore playing host to Buffalo. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. From there, we'll make the trip down to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. The Colts playing well in their opener, trying to send their sellout crowd home happy. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. The Jags looking to get their season off on the right foot. They've got the lead on the road. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. The tackle by Eric Armstead.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They run it again with Cook. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
And the blitz does come, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this belongs to the Vikings.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet there are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. And he goes for a gain of 31.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll run for it with Cook. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Cousins. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Carlson able to put this one through. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And last time they coughed it up. Led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only give up the field goal and they were able to trot back out?
That's caught inside the 20. A big play there for the Niners. 55 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now they try the right side here. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jerick McCammon, his first touchdown as a 49er. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that will tie things up at 13. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. Again, it's Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, That ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Jerry Atauchu brings him down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. A give. This is Cook. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Defensively, Jimmy Ward in on the stop. Of course, last year, you think about Dalvin Cook's injury in Week 4 with a torn ACL, just hoping that he can stay healthy in 2018.
And if so, we'll see plenty of runs that will be big time in 2018. Because in 2017, he took over.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up second down.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Now Johnson throwing again on 2nd and 10. And Garrett Selleck here on the completion. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile.
Let's go!
Back to throw. Johnson bringing it in. Jackson left side. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Over the middle of Kittle, complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with the tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 45. They start the drive with Cook. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Handoff comes to Cook. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole that closed there quickly at the end. Cousins now. He finds Cook. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the 1st.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And right with it here over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A nice gain of 21 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. 13 all our score as we start quarter number 4. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Cook. And he showcases the spin, a pretty good gain before he's taken down. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now a run with Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Get ready.
Johnson now. On 1st and 10. And pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Johnson going to throw again. Screen play. McKinnon. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. A dump down to McKinnon. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though. Huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tall.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Back to the ground. This time, Cook. Oh, look at the juke. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. They hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that cat?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long. And they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
is Minnesota. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Looking to throw. Johnson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. The 13 yards that time of the first. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you're talking about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. First man through, it's the fullback use check. And a short gain here, down to the 22. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You foresee incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And Gold is able to put it through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 9 yards on the run there, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll run it now, out the door. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Cousins to throw. Guy's man complete over the middle. It's right. And they'll get this route past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. They run, Cook, and he's going to get this one down to the 30. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Cook, and he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
On 3rd down, it's Cook, and they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
Here's Johnson throwing again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Back to throw. Johnson, and he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Looking to throw. Johnson over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. A gain of 6 there on first. Clock now under 30 ticks and running. Now Johnson looking to throw on second down. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Daniil Hunter able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. A little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And the Vikings defense ready to head back out there now. And they forced 4 turnovers now in that last possession, most recently the interception.
I'd love to be in charge of their highlight video at the end of the season, though, because this game, you could cut it into one sequence, take away, take away, take away, take away, and everyone goes home happy.
And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. As a fan of the NFL, for an opener, you can't ask for much more than this overtime in Week 1.
I know it's hard to believe that some people may not have been watching our game, but I'll bet through social media they found out this one was snug and getting into overtime, and they flipped over here in a hurry. This is fantastic. If you're a fan of ball, you love these types of games.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Johnson now off the play fake. Looking deep downfield. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown, 49ers. The partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for San Francisco, it was a game that could have gone either way, but they get the touchdown in overtime to secure the Week 1 victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.